Okay, my dear. So comets is our lesson today. Firas, Muhammad, all is welcome. Talal, Abdulaziz, everyone is welcome. But let me open the book in front of me on the screen with you also. If you have your book, open your book. I think at page 100. Alhamdulillah, finally, I have taken my copy yesterday from Mr. Sammani. So I'm so happy with you. We are at page number 115, my dears. Would you please open?
Okay, Mr.
Yesterday we did say there are many different objects in the solar system which are smaller than planets, and we did say that one of them is called comets and dwarf planets. This is our lesson today. Yesterday we finished the orbits of their bodies. We did say asteroid belt, cupular belt, Oort cloud, and we with you we did say about their locations in the space between Saturn and Mars, in the outer of the solar system next to Neptune. All of them, as we did say, rotate around the sun in their orbits. Today, we are taking in details dwarf planets and comets. As you know, dwarf planets are celestial bodies or space bodies which are smaller than planets, especially Pluto. They are smaller than Pluto, and Pluto is a confusing planet because it changes its size many times. It becomes smaller, becomes bigger, according to the formation of ice covering on its surface. So scientists consider Plutoids. Plutoids are bodies that are smaller than Pluto, but they take the same shape, the same size of Pluto. So they put it in the classification of the small objects in the space. All of them are rotating around the solar system next to Neptune. I'm trying now to open the lesson with us in page 113 on the board. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. That's well. If you look at your book at page 113, you will find a diagram of the comet. Before it, in 112, we have a diagram of dwarf planet. Dwarf planets, they have a definition. Scientists have to define them. Do you think they are planets, normal planets, or smaller than normal planets? They always say they are smaller than normal planets. That's good. So we have to classify them. We have to put them in their orbit and in the solar system. I'm still opening the lesson. Alhamdulillah, I found it. That's good. Most of them are found in cupular belt, and they call it cupular belt objects. Cupular belt objects are something that is called Plutoid. Plutoid is a small solar object which is smaller than the Pluto. Pluto has been cancelled in 2006, as you know, only because its size is very small, smaller than the moon. So something which is like Pluto, we call it Plutoid, because it takes the shape, it takes the size of Pluto planet. So we call them Plutoids. Plutoids, you see this word? You see this word that I'm pointing to it now? Plutoids. They have an orbit in the sun, to the sun, around the sun, but they are collected in the cupular belt. Cupular belt is the belt that collect this kind of small solar objects. You see, this is the belt that is called the cubular belt. You see these dots? These dots are representing what? They represent planetoids, which are collected in this belt in the solar system in their orbit to the sun. So they rotate around the sun, but in their special orbit in the cubular belt. So these dots represent planetoids. Planetoids are dwarf planets. Dwarf planets are small solar objects which are smaller than the Pluto planet. You understand this point? It's clear?
Yes.
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 That's well. So one of the other small solar objects that is called comets. Comets is something like star because it has a head and a tail. A head and a tail are the main structure of the comet. The main if you have your book, you can answer this question before we move to the comets. Do you think that Pluto should be considered a planet or not, and why? I think we did answer this question many times before now. You can answer it with yourself. It cannot be considered as a planet from 2006 because its body, its size is smaller than the moon in size. So this is the Pluto planet, and it cannot be considered as a planet because its size is smaller than the moon. What is about the comets? Look at this diagram that I sent to you yesterday night. I think it was about, it was in the WhatsApp group.
Mister, I didn't finish writing.
Oh, I'll come back. I'm so sorry. I'm searching for a photo for the comet, but we can search for it on the internet now with you. In your book at page 113, you find a circle. This is not really a circle, but this is orbit of the comet. And it shows its position, its different positions in the space. It shows its different sizes of its tail, sometimes big, sometimes small. And we have to know about its structure. Its parts. What are the materials of the comet itself? What is the effect of the comet in the space if it moves? If it moves around in the space, what does it do? Look at this summary. Here we have their definition. I'd like you, please, Abdulaziz, read them. Abdulaziz is here.
Yes, mister.
Would you please read this one?
They are loose collection of ice, dust, and
Good.
small rocky particles whose orbits can be very long.
Thank you. Loose means very small, ya shabab. Small particles and they are collected together, but these particles are from ice. Ice. Is there any water in the space?
No.
Huh? So what's why it says ice? Huh?
That means, mister, that there is water.
In the space? Inshallah.
Yes, mister. There is some plants that have water that shows that there was signs of life.
No, I don't agree with you.
Sir,
Do you think that there are rains in the space?
no.
No.
So ice, ya shabab, is only about gases. These frozen gases changed into be ice. And it's collected together in small particles to form the comet. Comet could be compound, could be composed by ice, dust, and also small rocky particles which have orbit around the sun. Look at this one. I'm searching about its image now. Comets. What do you say?
If a planet has an atmosphere and it has ice, the ice will turn to water.
I can't hear you well.
If
I'm
the
so
if
sorry.
a planet have ice and the atmosphere, the ice will turn to water.
No, this ice on any outer planet means it has different gases, like hydrogen, like helium, but it doesn't mean it has water. This is not really ice. It's frozen gases. You know, frozen gases.
The one that nitrogen forms.
Frozen gases. It is not water. It's helium, hydrogen gases, but they are frozen because of low temperature. You understand me? Look at this image, ya shabab. This one is a comet. It has a head, as you see. It's rocky. It has a tail. This tail is a light or dust or small particles of ice that reflect the sunlight. So you can see it shiny. You can see it light. As you see, it has two main parts in its body, which is its head and its tail. Most of the comets has two tails, not only one tail, ya shabab. So comets are loose particles of dust and ice that are collected together, and it moves very, very fast in the space. For the structure of it, as you see, so this is the definition of them. I'd like you, please, everyone, to save any definition you meet in science. You have to keep it in your mind, okay? Okay. So the comets, every one of them has its own structure. The structure of the comet mainly composed of head and the tail. Head and the tail. I'd like to welcome my dear friend Firas. Hello, Firas. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr.
Okay. Could you please read the structure of the head of the comet to come back to its image?
Comet head that consists of fuzzy outer layer called coma and solid inner core called nucleus.
That's well. So the head, yeah, Firas, has two layers, inside from outside and outside.
Yes.
Inside, what's inside the comet head?
Inside the comet.
Inside the comet head.
Inside the comet head.
Fuzzy outer layer.
Fuzzy outer layer.
And we call it what?
Coma.
Good. Type from outside. Sorry, from inside core. Inside it.
Solid inner core.
Solid. Solid means it is not liquid. It is not gases. Yes. Okay. Let's see it in the diagram that we open together. You see this part that I'm showing to it? This is the head, and inside it there is a nucleus. Yeah, this is the head of the coma, and inside it there is a nucleus. Nucleus of the comet is a solid particle. It is a solid particle. I'm searching for someone big for you. I need to see it with you.
Mr. I have a question.
Yeah, what is it?
How did they study the comet from outside? Like, did a comet fall on Earth, or like what happened?
Allah, you're lucky, man. Your question comes in the same time of my showing this comet outside of the Earth. You see, this is the Earth planet.
Yeah, I know, but like, how it was still in the same way when it was in space?
I'm telling you, I appreciate your question, mashallah. Your question mainly talks about the structure and the description of the comet, right? How they find out its description. Some of them fall down on the surface of the earth, in desert of the earth, in ocean of the earth. So they get some samples and they start to study it. They analyze it in geological labs, right? So it can be falling down on the surface of the earth. Also, they take its pictures, its videos by telescopes or by space stations. Space stations has big telescopes. It takes photos, it takes videos of all the space bodies, right? So this is the head that consists of inner core, solid one, and it consists of outer fuzzy layer, but there is also tail of the comet. You see, this is all the tail of the comet. Let's see the tail with our friend, who can read it? Okay, Ahmed. Go on, Ahmed.
Yes.
Thanks, Ahmed. Could you please read the structure of the tail of the comet?
The tails.
Yes, please.
Comet's tail. Most of comets have two tails, and the tail is some of its gas and dust stream outward.
That's well. So what's the main structure of the tail?
The structure
Now, if you read science, you have to stop at every word. Here you have the structure of the tail, which is dust and the gas. Dust and what? And the gas. Thank you. Before we finish, I'd like my friend Talal to re-explain the comet again with us. Go on, ya Talal.
Yes,
I'm
Mustafa.
trying now to draw it with you, and you explain its structure.
The comet does makes the tail.
Good. So this one is tail,
Yes, the tail.
and this one is inside and outside.
The inside is nucleus.
Nucleus, right?
And the outside like and
Fuzzy,
fuzzy
outer layer. Fuzzy outer what?
layer.
Thank you. So how many tails that most of the comets have, ya Ahmed? One tail or two tails?
one tail.
Most of them have two tails.
Two tails?
Yes, two, not only one.
How two tails in foot?
Okay, I'm telling you now. You see this one? You see this white one and this blue one?
Oh, I thought it's just the blue.
Don't worry. Thank you. Let's see now the next part of our lesson. Alhamdulillah, it rains outside. I'd like every one of you to start to make dua to succeed, inshallah, to have high marks in science and and other subjects, inshallah. Please, if you have your book, try to fill in these answers and to highlight the same words in your book about the comet's tail and the comet's head. And the last point in this lesson is the comet's orbit, and it has a long, narrow orbit around the sun. Long, narrow orbit around the sun. So it rotates around the sun the same as the planet does, right? Thank you. Take 1 minute now to finish this answer in your book, please, everyone. I request everyone to open his book at page 113 because it is the last page of the lesson. It is the last, it is the last part of our lesson today. Still, we have one more period in next week in this lesson to finish it. I delayed it because of the day off in the school today, right? So we still have one more session in this lesson in next week, inshallah. Mainly, I'd like you to focus today about the structure of the comet and the description of the dwarf planet. Right. On the group, I sent to you the lesson summary, the board summary, the quiz of the lesson, right? And some photos also that helps you to understand the comets well. Thank you, my dears. Try to write the answer of this question, please, in 2 minutes. Everyone has finished?
No,
Not
Mr.
yet,
من the
Mr.
last
No,
sentence.
mister.
In the last
Finish,
line.
mister.
Thank you very much for the first one.
Finish. خلاص.
Thank you يا شباب. جزاكم الله خير. طيب, I'd like you to focus with me in this diagram.
Mr. من the
This
last word.
diagram, what is the red line يا شباب? Is it the orbit or a circle? Normal circle in the space.
Mr.
Yes, my dear.
I'm in the last word. Can you please go back?
Oh, so sorry, so sorry.
Okay, thank you.
This red oval orbit of the comet, you see it in the space? This imaginary line, there is no line in the space like this, but they imagine it. They put it in a diagram to imagine it, right?
Yes.
And they call it comet orbit. These are the light of the comets, but the red ones inside are the comets itself. And they rotate around the sun, as you see in the diagram. That's all. You see, nucleus of the comet, coma of the comet, which is the head, dust of the tail, gas of the tail. You see? So the higher dense one is the dust, and the lower dense one is the gas. Complete this diagram above adding the comet's tail. Please add the tail of the comets. Do you think that it becomes larger or becomes smaller in these dots? I mean the tail of the comet. As far as from the sun, it becomes larger or smaller?
Larger.
Smaller, excellent, because it reflects the sunlight in less way, in less amount, so it decreases its light. MashaAllah. All of you are supposed to be astronauts, inshallah. This is deep question that you answered it right. Thank you very much. What do we have still in this lesson? We have to focus on the scientific terms in this summary. You see this summary, أولاد? This summary, dwarf planets. You study what does it mean, what's its definition, what's example of it. Kuiper belt objects, what are the objects in the Kuiper belt? We did say boletoids, this word. Comets, what's the structure of the comet? To study it well, you have to know the comet coma and the comet tail. And you have to know about the orbit of the comets around the sun. It rotates around the sun in their own very long orbit, as you know. That's well. So inshallah Azza wa Jal, in next time we study together the asteroids. I delayed it because it takes long time, more than the session time, but I request every one of you to read it before you come to class. This unit or this lesson exactly needs to be read before you come to the class. Why? If you could open your camera, I'd like to welcome every one of you. Why we should read it, ya shabab? Because thank you very much. Jazakallahu khairan. Ahmed, the first one. Omar, hello Omar, how are you, Habib?
Mister, I don't have
Yes.
camera on my PC.
No problem. I welcome you. Your voice is enough. Anyway, hello Ahmed. I did say now, hello Muhammad Firas. I did say now that you should read the lesson before you come to the class. You know why? Because it consists of many details, and maybe we forget to focus on any detail of them So you have to have a background idea about it, right?
Yes.
I thank you for every single minute that you have taken with me today. I wish you have a good day in Rains and try to study more and more in your weekend. We're about to have a quiz, and next week we have a quiz on last two lessons, outer planets and small solar system objects. Do you have any question about our lesson today? Hello, Firas.
No, Mister.
No,
No,
mister,
mister.
thank you.
Okay, my dears. Have a good day and a good time.
Bye, Mister.
That's well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for everyone. Thanks, ya Firas. Stop moving.